deeper into this consumption aspect. So, the rural part was tangible in the sense that we had seen nominal growth in agriculture come down. We could make a judgment from there saying that, half the population is dependent on agriculture, hence there are pressure on wages in that segment. What seems to be still intangible to some extent is what's happening in the urban consumption side. Or is it clearer now to you?
Well, I think, if you look at the rural consumption side, I think the rural economy in general has seen the terms of trade deteriorate over the last 3 to 5 years. Whether, you can see that in terms of real wages coming down, or, a lot of the rural workers who were employed in the construction sector hasn't really gone anywhere. So that is also having an impact. Maybe the MSP situation in terms of the aggregate sources of rural income. So both in terms of agriculture sources of rural income as well as the non-agriculture sources of rural income, which primarily comes from construction. I would say things have been fairly subdued. And, within that, there is monsoon, which is a bit positive, a bit negative, but I don't think the rural actually has seen any increase in any case in the last 2-3 years. So I'm not so surprised about rural. The urban side, if you assess what has happened in the last 12 months, in 2018, we did see oil prices go up. We did see the currency shock on the depreciation side initially. We saw banking liquidity that was tightened. We saw the cost of capital that went up. And then we saw the NBFC crisis, as a result of which supply of credit was tightened. And the combination of that, I think, had already set the stage for any discretionary demand in India to slow down into 2019. And I think, while this is playing out, the extent to which the global shocks, I would say, are hitting us via the confidence channel. And I would say also to an extent the sort of the length of period through which we allowed the NBFC episode to fester has together led to a situation where the drop in consumption demand has been quite dramatic. So this is where we are. And I think a lot of course correction has happened in the last 2 months, particularly in terms of policy. I think the question now is how long does it take for this to percolate down and at least help some of the cyclical aspects of the demand drag we are seeing right now.